Vibe blowing at the J. Got the loud jumping at the bay. Everything I'm on slab. Everything I do is got the band jumping at the bay. Vibe blowing at my J. Got the loud jumping at the bay. Everything I'm on slab.
We've been with the Brazilians. This would be the first.
They wild, I think.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy? All right, we back in here. What's going on, everybody? We back. We're going to try this once again and see what's going on. I just reset everything. All right, but look, we'll go ahead and continue with today's show. And I need to acknowledge the super chats from earlier. Don't forget, hey, man, I didn't forget about y'all. I appreciate y'all. Colgate says, my baby mama terrorist wanted to argue this weekend. I didn't even go back and forth. She's a 5 at best now, and her mindset is a damn 2. Hit the F and shut the F up. Shout out to you.
Shut your bitch ass up.
All right, shout out to you right there. Didn't even go back and forth. All right, so here we go right here. Shout out to our brother Fox Hound. Says CGA is right. Women taking accountability is like pulling teeth. Had our final court hearing today. No alimony, no child support, and 50-50 custody. We were both emotional, but I noticed she was bawling hard. She refused to fix it and would rather watch it all burn down.
Look what she did to my car.
Yeah, man. How frustrating.
Oh, I can't stand this hoe. I can't stand this bitch.
All right, how frustrating is it to go through those hearings and the court orders and all of these things when you simply could have negotiated it? And now all of a sudden she's crying because she believes she lost, but the kids end up winning in the end. So congratulations to you. Did you say no child support, no alimony? I believe that's what you said. So let me go back. You said no child support, no alimony, 50-50 custody. Guys, that's where it should start. But of course, they don't want to start it there. They want you out here fighting for your kids. All right, fight for your kids. There's no excuse. There is an excuse. Shout out to H every day. All of a sudden, you're glitching and coach still continued the show. CGA Army got your back. Thanks for the 3,500 people in here watching me. All the way down to 2,500. Now we're down to 600, but it's okay. All right, we continue the show. The show must go on. I'm going to continue the show. And he says right here, he says, I must have been hearing voices too, coach. Child support called me every week in my 20s until I got a new phone. Yeah, change your phone number on these bitches. All right, shout out to Child Support Services, stealing men's money. Shout out to our brother Daniel McGee. We still looking at our favorite African-American out here.
Look at my African-American over here. Look at him. Are you the greatest? You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Thank you, man, for the support right here. We still got connection. All right, they was not letting me do today's stream, but I'm going to still press forward. Shout out to our brother Sam Prince. Says Kamala put the call into Al Gore. She had enough of your streams ruining her campaign.
New world order.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to you. All right, man. I'm going to tell you, man. Shout out to that one right there. And shout out to Cornell. Says here in San Jose, Costa Rica for vacation. Found a nice 20-year-old thick model JUCO. with her feet out, coach. Roared all last night with her. The days of dating and mouthpiece are over. I'm 40 years old, no kids. Hit me with that Uncle Earl.
I got money.
Shout out to you, man. Hey, there's a girl that I want to see. There's two girls I want to see down in Costa Rica. All right, so I might have to take me a trip down to Costa Rica. Shout out to our brother here, Thomas J, for the show. Thanks for all you do. Jeff, the producer, with the support. Appreciate y'all.
I got money.
All right. And let me check the pay pixel real quick, man. I had to reset everything. I reset everything in the house, man. I was just like, start over. All right, so we got everybody, man. And look, you know what time it is here. We're getting closer to the main event. Let me go ahead and play these two clips, and then we'll do the main event. We have this lady that says, well, this is what she says. I'm going to play this. I'm going to use this as it's an evil world we live in. All right, and you can watch the replay back. I don't know how I'm going to do the podcast, all right, because the podcast is all glitchy. It's an evil world we live in. Here we go.
It's an evil world we live in.
And listen to the mental state. This is the ladies out here. Shout out to the ladies. This is what you put men through. This is what you put men through out here, ladies. And take a look at her. We got a whole muskrat out here. Oh, wait, that's not it. I thought that might have been my feet picture collection coming up. I'm glad you didn't see my feet picture collection there. That was a blank screen, but it could have been worse. All right, so here we go right here. There it is. Ladies, we got a whole muskrat here. Got a plain Jane, freckle face, plain Jane. All right, so let's see what she has to say here.
Do you want to know why men think we're crazy? Okay, it's Saturday night. It's raining. I'm laying on the couch under a blanket. I'm in my jammies. I tell my husband I want something cozy for dinner. He's like, what does that mean? So he starts naming off places. He's like, do you want to go to Outback? I'm like, no. He's like, do you want pizza? I'm like, no. He's like, do you want teriyaki? I'm like, gross. No, that doesn't sound good. I really want pho. He doesn't want pho. So we have to compromise on something. And because I'm already in my jammies, I don't want to go sit in a restaurant, but also I don't want him to leave the house to go pick up the food because I'm needy and I want him to stay home, but I don't want to pay for DoorDash because DoorDash is expensive. So I just want the food to come to me, but like for free. But also I don't want to deal with like the garbage and the mess from takeout. But I don't want to sit in a restaurant and I don't want to cook and I don't know what I want to eat. Does that make sense? Because it makes perfect sense in my head.
Yep.
What that mean?
Yep, these be the...
Now I got to cut you.
These be the normies. I'm telling you, these be the normies that you be like, Coach, I see people in relationships all the time. And she's completely insufferable. And the guy is like, okay, this is my only shot at consistent punani. So he dates a plain Jane, and he's a regular beta Brad, if you will.
And that's
and
you.
So he dates her, and they have sex 4 to 6 times a month, if that. And then all of a sudden, guess what happens? All right, he's stuck with her because she's not in her feminine, right? She's confused, and she's playing mind games. He's supposed to be a mind reader. He's supposed to provide, the perfect solution for her. This is your money, energy, attention, and time. And there she is right there, just abusing his energy and his time. Just abusing. But of course, that's a typical average relationship. Okay, that's what people put you through. I mean, women, guys, ladies will get you in relationships and they will do that to you. And they don't have any problem effing with your time. None at all. And messing with your head. All right. In her mind, she says it makes sense. All right. All for some punani, ninjas.
Do you want to know why men think we're crazy? Okay. It's Saturday night.
Yeah. And she knows she's crazy. And she knows she's a whole muskrat. So, what else you going to do? And if you break up with her, she going to come after you.
Now I got to cut you.
Do not marry this woman. She's going to divorce, grape you to kingdom come. Right there. All for a little piece of punani. All right. I'm telling you, brothers. All right. We got this one. Is she right? What do you think about this sister right here? Let's see if I can prime her up. This right. Is she right? We'll put a vote to this one right quick. Is this sister right?
Your body will determine the type of man that you attract. Cosmetic BBL bodies attract drug dealers, gangbangers, club goers, players, thugs, unfaithful men. Natural bodies attract career men, businessmen, stable men, family men, husband material men, and if you're in the right setting, a rich man. Overweight bodies attract users, losers, abusers, criminals, men with ulterior motives. Your body is the first impression of who you are. BBL bodies don't keep men. Natural bodies attract quality men. Overweight bodies attract user men. Be careful with what you do with your body.
Oh my goodness. All right, shout out to this sister right here. She was cooking. All right, we're going to see if you guys agree with this. All right, listen to that right there. I'll play it again. I'm going to have to type this in. Do you agree with this, sister? Sister, do you agree with her on this one? You can probably see this out in the field data-wise. You can see this out in the data. All right, that is most likely going to be true. I'll type it in, the natural body. Let me go ahead and start a poll here. Do you agree? Do you agree with the sister? Do you agree with the sister here on Melanin Monday? All right, here we go right there. There's a poll. I'll play it again just in case you didn't hear it. I know. I'll play it again just in case you didn't hear it. Let's go again.
Your body will determine the type of man that you attract. Cosmetic BBL bodies attract drug dealers, gangbangers, club goers, players, thugs, unfaithful men. Natural bodies attract career men, businessmen, stable men, family men, husband material men, and if you're in the right setting, a rich man. Overweight bodies attract users, losers, abusers, criminals, men with ulterior motives. Your body is the first impression of who you are. BBL bodies don't keep men. Natural bodies attract quality men. Overweight bodies attract user men. Be careful with what you do with your body.
All right. All right. Shout out to you. And even we acknowledge that because on a slow Tuesday, some cheeks can get clapped. All right. Or Gordita can get their cheeks clapped out here. And of course, sucker MCs and Mitchells, you know, you'll take anything. All right, so there are some men that will take just about anything. So, yes, it's an evil world out there. Go ahead and let me know what you think on that one. Then we'll go ahead.
It's an evil world.
Then we'll go ahead and get into the main event. Yes, indeed. Back again. All right, the main event. Goodness gracious. All right, I tried to get through here, but let's go.
It's an evil world we live in.
That's not what I want. All right, here we go right here. That was a quite distracting stream this morning. Why Tamera abandoned Tia on the main event right here. Let me see if I can pull this up. You guys know Tia and Tamera, sister girls for the young brothers here. They were on a TV show called Sista. So let me see if I can pull. Is it Tamera? I thought it was Tamera. All right, the whole time. All right, so it's Tamera. All right, so these are the girls right here for the young brothers that always want to know who Tia Mowry is. They were on the show called Sista. Probably on the CW or the UPN or the WB. All right, I don't remember what it was on. Never watched it. But Sista. Well, they grew up to be fantastic, young, good-looking women, but they were always weirdos to me. They were kind of weird to me all the time. There they go right there. Those are the twin sisters. And they've been together, twins, of course. And Tia Mowry is probably the one we talk about a lot more than the other one, which is going to be Tamera. All right. And they became famous because, well, Tia right here got divorced from her husband, who is Corey Hardwick, in which she called a graduation. All right. And so there wasn't seemingly something wrong with the marriage, but this does highlight the dastardly effects of the no-fault divorce system. And so she calls right here. Wait a minute. There's another headline that we want to pull up here. All right, where she talks about her divorce being a graduation. And there she is right there. Let's go ahead and play it. Her divorce being a graduation, how she grew apart and graduated despite having one or two children. Let's go ahead and play the clip.
I know.
We love her.
Yeah. And I love her too. I just talked to her I talked to her 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm. She is, so do you all feel like you're each other's kind of North Star? Does it still feel that way?
Oh, yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's like my best friend. I feel like she's like really my life partner when it comes to life. You know what I mean? She's always just right by my side. So I love you.
You know.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they kind of weirdos. But let me see if I can get into this divorce graduation shit.
This sadness And I knew that life is short. I had actually, lost my grandmother. We had lost Elena Housley. And both of them at the same time, there was just an aha moment in me where I said, you know what? You need to tap in, see what's really going on with your happiness. Life is short. Let's go. Let's start working on you and really focusing on what really, really matters here, which is at the end of the day, your peace, your joy, and your happiness. So I would say that. And I was in therapy as well. I'm a huge fan of therapy. So it was.
Of course, she was in therapy. And I always tell you, man, these therapists are really not giving people outcomes that they can work through. They're basically leading into a situation where they're learning about something and then that normally torpedoes the relationship. And, because they get empowered. And of course, she wanted to find something. She wanted her peace and happiness. So destroy the family. Now, this is detrimental for men who want to get married because your wife is sitting at home listening to this, which I'm going to get to the point of why Tamera abandoned Tia. Now she's saying and claiming, oh, this is why I did it. I pulled the trigger because X, Y, and Z, and I was in therapy. Let's continue.
All of that, together that gave me that, aha moment.
What were you the most afraid of stepping in? Because you're stepping in. Because some people, when you say, "Oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways," they go, "Oh no, oh that's sad." But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do. I look at it as one of my friends. She sent this beautiful letter to me from a woman who got a divorce, and it's all about this perspective, in my opinion, and just changing the narrative. My marriage was a success.
Yeah.
I look at it as like a curriculum when you're in college or high school, right? You're learning, you're growing, you're evolving, you're creating. And I was able to create with Corey some beautiful, amazing children. And at the end of that curriculum, and at the end, there's a graduation.
Oh my goodness, my ninjas. All right, so this is how your ex looks at the divorce. All right. By the way, when you got married, that wasn't part of the plan. All right. That was not part of the plan. But this is the marriage wheel 101. This is the bait and switch. Of course, women change from their 20s into their 30s and 40s. But now we have a graduation. We have a curriculum. We grew apart. We here. And so now it's time to ditch all that, which is going to be your legacy. It's going to be your family. It's going to be your riches. It's going to be your wealth. It is going to be the transfer of wealth and also moving on. Now, when this happens to normal people, of course, your wife is listening to this. Your ex-wife, your future wife is listening to this. And they might feel like, hey, eat, pray, love. Seek my happiness and peace, which I'm fine with. But this, for men, why get married? Why get married then? So now this is a curriculum and a graduation. All right, really? Really? I mean, this is what she's looking at it as. And of course, this is a big old gigantic bowl of coke. She's lost. Let's just be honest. Men and women, you're lost today. CGA is found. A lot of people are misguided and undecided and operating in misdirection. They don't know what they're doing. People are confused. They have no sort of programming, and they have no idea of what loyalty and commitment is. Now, when people think loyalty, they're only talking about sexual loyalty. Other than that, there's no more loyalty and commitment, not when people cannot be persecuted for this type of behavior. So everybody saw that. That has been something she's been criticized about. And now let's take it here, because now she's complaining about other people here. And it says, Tia demolishes haters criticizing her complicated dating life. What's complicated about it? Well, Tia Mowry calls dating after divorce a joke, but warns, don't play with me. She says ghosting, love bombing, and emotional unavailability. Oh my. She says she recently said about her post-divorce dating life. Tia Mowry dating life right here is proving to be difficult. A lot of ex-wives experienced this right here. She finalized her divorce with Corey Hardrick, who is now getting paid out here in April. She says, quote, when an emotionally immature man thinks he can play you, but when he goes low, you go lower. She writes on the clip as she danced to Nicki Minaj's track wearing a snakeskin trench coat with Prada sunglasses, black stilettos, and the silver hoop earrings. Mowry also quipped in the caption, this is a joke, don't play with me. She says, this is a joke. All right, so dating is a joke. Now, there's the lovely couple right there that she graduated from, and it seems like Corey is living better now. Coogee sweater now. Congratulations to Corey. But now she announced her separation after 14 years of marriage. And she says, I have always been honest with my fans, and today is no different. I wanted to share that Corey and I have decided to go our separate ways. However, it has not been a secret. There's the two lovely children right there. It has not been a secret that she's been somewhat not enjoying the dating life. So let's see her response to this about post-divorce dating right here on Entertainment Tonight.
New world order. Mowry is clapping back at the haters who have questions or concerns about her post-divorce dating life.
I think when you are living in your truth and your honesty, wonderful things happen.
The heated social exchange started on Saturday when the Sister star seemingly addressed the public pressure for her to reconcile with her ex-husband, Corey Hardrict.
I feel like I do have a lot to say. It's just, when am I going to say it?
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh gracious. She reminds me of somebody I know. And she's always been kind of on the fringe of being a weirdo, you know. But that's neither here nor there.
Tia delivered this direct message on Instagram, quote, since narratives are being made without my consent, hear it here and only here. Just because the dating life is complicated doesn't mean I'm going to go back to something that no longer served me.
Me. Hey, ladies, do you agree with this? Do you agree with this type of mindset related to marriages and dating? Because it always seems to happen around the same time. This mindset always seems to happen around the same time, right? Right when the kids are right about at that age where, you know, right before they hit teenage years, normally before they hit school years. Then all of a sudden the woman's like, my journey and my this and me and serving me and I'm not happy and he don't do the chores. And then women want to then go back to the streets. This is the old bait and switch. Okay, it's not serving me and no longer this and that. And dude, they're not that selfish at the beginning. They're not that selfish before the kids come. All of a sudden, when the kids come and the house is bought and all that shit has happened, then they want to pull the plug and be like, well, my journey and my happiness. I'm not happy. Like, this is sickening, but I'm going to get to the main point here, but I'm setting this up just so you can see how ridiculous this is. Let's continue.
Tia really drives her point home, asking haters to please just stop. I ain't that weak. Please move on because I have. Thank you, next.
It's about your integrity and it's about your character and it's about who you are as a person.
After all that went down, Tia hopped on X addressing even more opinions, hitting back at one user who suggested she focus on her kids and not comment on her ex-husband. Tia's response? Boo-boo, I'm in Europe traveling the world. I think it's best to stop projecting your life onto mine. Focus on you, not me.
All right, who hurt you, Tia? Who hurt you?
Next.
This is too real. This is my life.
But it doesn't end there. After some back and forth, Tia kept going in. No one is creating narratives around you. I don't think you were famous last time I checked, so you don't have to speak your truth. I do.
Don't have to explain myself to you.
Oh, man, she going on a campaign for sure. Look at this right here. I got to go ahead and right here. Okay. Yeah, what is going on?
And what Tia wants to do is talk about it. Last month, during an interview on Chris GQ Perry TV, Tia opened up about the highs and lows of modern dating as a newly single woman. The full episode is now available to stream on YouTube.
People just don't court each other anymore.
People don't court each other anymore. Still we're here with the conversation, man. I'm going to tell you, man, it's going to be a hard time going into the future of dating. Guys, let me let her finish. Courting is a complete misnomer. It's outdated experience today, but I'll fill that in here.
Have this mentality right off the bat that there is someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like there could be someone else.
She's dating outside of her league.
Yeah, that comment led many to assume that if Tia finds the dating pool so dire, maybe she's interested in rekindling her romance with Corey.
I have realized that the connections that I want in my life, friendship or romantic, whatever, are true, meaningful connections.
But clearly, Tia's not looking to her past. She's embracing change in her future and inspiring others to do the same.
I am really, I have to be honest with you, so overwhelmed by all of the support and the love that I have received. And I'm just so grateful of the community.
Look at these big hoop earrings. By the way, here, you heard it here. Not first, but you heard it here before. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the 304.
And just the fans that I have and the women, you know, you guys really do.
We ride for our girls.
And I really, really appreciate that. You know,
trying to rally around the women for making bad decisions in her life, of course.
It is all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault.
Here's the news here. This is Tia Mowry here on ET Exclusive, recently on a reality show talking about the emotional, right here, becomes emotional on life after divorce. Let's let her speak on it real quick. Here we go.
The family dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer.
We're about to go to Daddy's house now. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I
There she is with the big hoop earrings again.
feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's
the family
just not where we are right now.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing the headlines. I know y'all are going viral right now with the awkward hug. Like, it's so
exhausting.
stupid.
It's exhausting.
I know.
The red carpet video, yeah, about that.
Hey, play the video.
This was the first time that Corey and I had ever seen each other on just not where we are right now.
All right, so listen, I didn't make those clips. They made those clips. So apparently Corey, the awkward hug, I covered that. That was the first time they saw each other since the divorce. And Corey is now signed a mega deal, I believe, in Marvel, maybe Disney. I can't remember who he signed a deal with, but he got paid. Her, on the other hand, she's struggling out here. She's floundering, in which we know that women do flounder a little bit more well after divorce, especially if they don't remarry. We're going to cover that later on tonight. Now, covering the topic of, well, she can't get Tia on the line or Tamera on the line. It says right here, according to this, Tia Mowry reveals she is no longer close with her twin sister, Tamera. And why is that? It says right here, according to E! Magazine, the sisters are close, but, quote, being referenced about their physical location. Tamera lives in Napa. Tia lives in Los Angeles. There appears to be a rift between sister, or at least there might have been at one point, according to Tia Mowry. Her relationship with her twin Tamera changed after her 2023 divorce from Corey. Quote, being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce, Tia said. And it says right here, it's times like this that I feel it, and I wish my sister and I were still close and I could pick up the phone and call her. But that's just not where we are right now. You heard that. They have not responded back based on this comment right here. And they talked about how they rose to fame and all of that stuff. Now, let's get down to the nitty gritty as to why this most likely is happening here. And Tamera ain't dumb. Tamera ain't dumb. So let's pull up here why this is happening. Let's pull up Tamera and her wonderful family here. And that is Tamera. And they live in Napa. They're somewhat away from Southern California, which can be a little bit toxic. She's got her a zaddy. Shout out to her. Daddy. And she's got two wonderful children, two wonderful mulattoes. Shout out to the mulattoes out there. And so Tamera ain't dumb. It's a pity party of one. And Tamera said, I'm out of here. You on your own. How did it end this way? On your own, you bitch. All right, I'm out of here. Let me see right here. Let me see why. And I'm going to tell you here. Yeah, let me pull this up. I don't know why I didn't have this set up here. Here's one of the reasons why. Divorce is contagious. Right here. See, this is what people don't realize. And the data proves this. Divorce is contagious. And Tamera said, I'll have none of that. Fuck that graduation shit. And no, I'm not going to rip my family apart because you a pity party of one bitter broad. Gotcha, bitch. And even the sister said, I got to separate myself from this toxic bullshit. Divorce is contagious. Let me read several datas here and articles related to this. Related to divorce. It says, yes, divorce is contagious, and sociologists call this phenomenon social contagion. It says right here, according to Family and Friends, a study of Framingham, Massachusetts residents found that people were 75% more likely to get divorced if a close friend was divorced, and 33% more likely if a friend of a friend were divorced. Geographical distance. The effect of divorce on a person's risk of divorce doesn't appear to be affected by geographic distance. How it spreads. Divorce can spread through social networks like a rumor, affecting friends up to 2 degrees removed. 2 degrees removed. So if your neighbor gets divorced and she's constantly talking about it, the likelihood that that neighbor gets divorced increases just by next door. And the person dealing with the divorce is often going to enlighten most of the women, because women are filing for the divorces, and they're going to enlighten them. All right, they might have a lifestyle. They might talk about dating. A woman might talk about all the dick she out here getting. All right, or she might talk about how she's free to travel. And so divorce tends to be contagious. Not even geographic distance can distinguish that. So you got to cut people off when they get divorced. Now, men have to be somewhat a village, but most of the time, men, you're off on your own. And sometimes men will run from other men. Oh boy, this person. If a married man is with a divorced guy, the wife will say, nah, you got to get away from that guy because he's toxic. Also, that guy will be out here talking about he's getting more ass than a toilet seat. And there's women out here fucking, and he can go fix a bind. So the wives will even get the husband away, or even the husbands to get away from the divorced guy. All right, let's read some more data on this one. Interesting, right? Divorce contagion is similar to a virus. It says, according to the University of California, San Diego professor James Fowler, divorce can spread through a network in a similar way to a virus. In a similar way to a virus. And this is called the divorce contagion. Let me go ahead and read some more data here just so you can see it. And I'll put it up on the screen because just so you can see where I'm reading from. But the way that it's formatted, I'm going to just take it down and attempt to read it. It says right here, a study by McDermott discovered that 75% of their participants are more likely to get a divorce if they have a close friend and coworker who is divorced. 33% more likely to end their marriages if they have a friend that has a divorced friend. This is called the divorce contagion. And if you have a close friend whose marriage has also ended, you are 75% more likely to get a divorce. And I'll put this on the screen just so you can see it. All right, 75% chance more likely to get a divorce. It says right here, it is highly likely that we can conclude that if your social or work network is composed of many divorced friends, there's a high likelihood that a divorce could happen to you as well. Proven data. Many times we see in celebrity circles how prevalent couples divorce. In fact, journalists go as far as to create family trees and diagrams to demonstrate the connection and a commonality of divorce among Hollywood types, rock stars, politicians, influencers, and CEO Nigaro. It says it appears that celebrity divorce is simply a snapshot of how contagious divorce really is. And I'm telling you, I've been actually talking about that because what people will say to us, well, you talking about celebrities. You always talking about the celebrities and they have a higher divorce rate. Well, they're even saying that if you're following celebrities that get divorced, you could be a part of the divorce contagion, which women are the ones talking about. Well, let's listen to Tia. Right here. All right. This is women listening to this right here.
Because some people, when you say, oh, my husband and I are going our separate ways, they go, oh, no, oh, that's sad. But you actually see this as
a celebration.
A celebration.
I really do.
So there's a celebration. So if women are listening to this and they're going, it's a celebration. I want, and women are in their 5, 10, 15-year marriage. Okay. All right. So it's not that bad out here. And they normally listen to these women up front, right? This is before the dumpster fire. So, my happiness and my life and my story and my journey and my eat, pray, love, right? And I get to travel and I get to come out here and ride the cop carousel, right? So they're saying even the celebrities are part of the divorce contagion because, morons follow celebrities. Morons follow celebrities. So let me continue reading here just so you can see how prevalent this is. It says, James Fowler, the University of California, San Diego professor says, think of this idea of getting divorced, this option of getting divorced, like a virus because it spreads more or less the same way, he added. When one person experiences divorce, it gives the people around them information about what that's like. Okay, you see that? How does this contagious dynamic affect company culture? Let's see if we can dive into that. It says there's little data supporting this fact that if a peer at work is divorcing, they will too, but don't rule it out. Having day-to-day contact with anyone that is contemplating, approaching, preparing, managing, surviving, and attempting to heal from a divorce makes them more aware of why divorce may be a viable option to revealing a difficult conflict in their own relationship, particularly when they see a change for the better before then. All right, so change for the better right here. Okay? So most of the time when people are going through a divorce, managing it, it seems to be kind of toxic, but then people talk about the positives. Oh, you know, I get to do this now. I have my own freedom. I don't have to listen to this no more. I can pick my own sweaters. I can pick my own drapes. Now, for a person that is in the hole, in the abyss of marriage, right, in the turbulent times of marriage, there are always going to be turbulent times. Then they might look at that as, oh, wow, I want to pick my own drapes too. I get to pick my own toothpaste. I get to have my own room. So as a result, it becomes a contagion, and then people have doubts about their own marriage or their own relationship. And by the way, gentlemen, you're sitting at home all innocent and shit. You're at work all innocent. Then she comes in and then she says, I'm not happy. Right? And she's been listening to her divorced friend. And then you get hammered. I'm telling you, this is why Tamera took off. All right? This is why she went scrambling. This is why she left her alone. And sometimes, I've been saying this for a long time. You got to even leave family members behind, especially if you're progressing. Now, they seem to not have a problem, and he seems to not be a celebrity. So they have their own issues with their marriages and relationships, but they got young kids. And she finally said to Tia, that's it. All right, enjoy your life, enjoy your travels, but I'm not going to be here for you. I'm not going to be here for you. Look, kissies, hugs. I love you, sis. We're twins. But you're going to have to take a time out until you deal with this. So this is why, more likely why that Tamera did abandon Tia. And Tia is now on her journey of self-discovery, but now she's going to be in the most difficult time of a divorcee, which is the dating time and trying to find a new person. And I always tell you, most people don't find the new person immediately. They will go through they got to kiss a lot of frogs. And so Tamera doesn't want to hear about the dating and the struggles with dating. She doesn't want to hear it. She says, say that shit for social media, right? I don't want to hear that shit. I'm out here enjoying my own family. All right, right there. Divorce after dating. Tamera doesn't want to hear it. So she got to let her go. I don't want to hear about the love bombing and ghosting and the trouble time. She probably told you, you need to go back. You need to go back to your husband. All right, but Tia ain't handling it. I'm mixing these girls' names up. All right, she ain't hearing it. But let me go ahead and find a little bit more data on this divorce contagion. All right, most of the people even reporting the same data, just so you can see it's not that uncommon. Here's another one right here. You see the headline. Divorce is contagion. The Contagious. All right, by the Muffington Post. I mean, what is it called? Muff Post? Huff Post? Huff Muff? All right, I don't know what it's called. But they're reporting it here. It's not a surprise. You're 75% more likely to get divorced if you have a close friend whose marriages has also ended. Right there. Almost 1 in 2 marriages end in divorce. Shit, most of them do. Okay, but this phenomenon, the divorce contagion, right there. And it says right here, here's another stat. People are 147% more likely to split if they have several divorced friends in their social network compared to people who are married and hang out with mostly married friends. Woo, wait, ring the bell. All right, even having a divorced brother or sister means you are 22% more likely to get divorced yourself, while having divorced coworkers increase your chances of a split with your partner by 50%. Jesus Christ. Man, that's why Tamera got the hell up out of there. This one says Samantha, age 40, saw two of her closest friends each go through a relationship breakup. And within a year, she too found herself calling time out on her marriage. The divorce contagion. All right, you heard it here first. Have you ever heard anybody in this space talk about this? I want you to think about it. I want you to think about this. This is one of the experiences that I can, lend to this space because I have experience with this, and I'm one of the most experienced guys in this space. You're looking at a guy that's been through a lot, almost 50 years old. I don't think anybody in the man improvement space or the manosphere or the red pill, all right, was able to touch on this quite like this. So I'm exposing you to something that, well, even though you have a good relationship, many of these things related to women are out of your control, simply out of your control, right? You can start hitting it right. You can start helping around the house. You can start, going 50-50. You can give her whatever she wants. That doesn't stop her from divorcing you. It could stop her from divorcing you. Sometimes it's still out of your control. If in fact her friends can actually lead her to a divorce faster than you lead her to a divorce. Right? Somebody said right here, it's not always even money. Okay? It's not even money, right? You can start doing right and you're like, and then she just shows up. Journey. My truth. And you're like, what happened? My happiness. And you're like, what's going on? And that can't even cure it. It's the fact that her friend got a divorce. That should be cause for like, uh-oh. When you hear that as a husband, you got to start saying, you got to let her go. Let your friend drown. Because if that friend becomes a shoulder to lean on, your wife could come in and divorce you. No matter what you've done. Did it say the women divorcing their friends that are leading the other people to get divorced, are they saying their relationships are bad? No, they didn't say that. They said simply the relationship to another divorced person will lead to divorce. They didn't say, oh, because he was cheating, because he was not hitting it right, because he lost his job. Simply the relationship with another divorced person will lead you to a greater divorce because you start pointing out what's wrong. I mean, man, this is a sad, sad indicator of what's going on right here. Let me see what Samantha said right here. Samantha, who gave up her career in finance
so I could focus on my career
to look after her 3 children, said hearing her friends talk about the intricacies of their marital problems forced her own relationship issues into the spotlight. This is what we call, well, female sabotage. I've been explaining that as well. So, let me give you an example of this. What happens is, like Sex in the City, the dynamics between the women actually led to the catastrophes of their relationships. Even the prissy girl who had a marriage that was somewhat idyllic, they would always try to get her to find the fault in their marriages, in which if you do have a dutiful, listening wife, a Proverbs 31 wife, you would be able to go to her and say, hey, listen, when your friends are talking shit about their husbands, do not join in. When they're talking shit about their husbands, do not join in. They will even encourage her to talk shit about you. Now, it is very common that both people participate in a little bit of dumping of shit into everybody's, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, let's talk about the negatives about our spouse or our boyfriends. Women love to do this because they feel closer to each other. And if she doesn't, they'll even say, oh, your husband can't be that perfect if she doesn't engage in this type of behavior. Because on the other side of that is, if the women are if they refuse to talk negatively about their husband, they may even say, hey, there may be some abuse going on over there that you're hiding. You're hiding stuff. Nobody's that perfect. You don't have the perfect husband. He has to have some flaws. Share with us. And if she refuses, they may say, hey, he might be abusing her and you're not willing to tell. We're here to help you. But misery loves company. So eventually she'll partake in this. And that will continue to sabotage their marriage. I knew something was wrong with him. And of course, it's wrong with everybody. Not everybody's perfect. So then once she starts engaging in this behavior, group text with the sisters, the cousins, the monster-in-law, once she engages in this, it's done. More than likely, and you will find that more than likely the last woman to engage will be the first one to get divorced. Let me say this again. See, this is all has nothing to do with your marriage. Like, it has nothing to do with you. This tells us the last one to engage will be the first one to divorce, right? Because what will happen is, oh, your husband's not perfect. Tell us. She'll finally relent and say, well, yeah, he does this. I don't like this. They'll make her, and she'll break down. Okay, he told me not to talk about our marriage outside of our house. Oh, see, he's manipulator. He's controlling. He's controlling what you say. See, you can lean on us. That woman will be the first one divorced. Trust me, guys. I know this for a fact. I'm pretty sure you can find evidence of this. She's going to be the first one divorced because those women are like, see, you acted like he was perfect and you refused to say something. That has to be a reason why. See, I knew. And guess what? They'll tell her all the faults and she'll start opening up more and feeling comfortable with opening up more with her complaints about the marriage. And he don't pick up his socks. He don't help with the chores. I'm a stay-at-home married mama. I'm a single married mother, whatever they call it. And what'll happen is she'll walk down divorce first. Now, the women in that group will stay married longer than the last one to open up. This is guaranteed. It's a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk. Because then they'll be like, yeah, okay, shit, I wouldn't put up with that. And then this woman will be gassed up, right? She'll be emotional and she'll walk down divorce first. And the other woman be looking like this, God damn, within 6 months. I mean, it'll be a fast turnaround. Within months, all of a sudden, the pussy ain't getting wet. All of a sudden, the bullshit flying. Okay? So then she'll get divorced, and the other women are like, damn. Right? That was fast. And then eventually 1, 2, 3, it'll be like a domino effect. They'll all get divorced, or they'll stick in. And then the divorced woman will be like Tia, outside crying, and the other women will be in their marriage like, oh, well, we didn't tell you to get divorced. On the outside, drinking wine, out here going, hey, I'm going to girls' nights out. You want to come, ladies? Oh, no, we're going to be at home with our husbands. By the way, you can't deny what I'm talking about. I came down here with evidence. Gentlemen, divorce is contagious. You basically have a miserable person looking for self-discovery. And most of the self-discovery in our current divorce culture leans around the woman finding herself. The men often try to work it out because they don't want to lose the legacy. They don't want to lose the situation they're in. Even if they have somewhat fault, it's never going to be one person's fault. Marriage is a two-man game. So it's going to be both people at fault. And both people have their issues. It's just that most of the time, men do not discuss their issues with the wife, but they certainly do have them. And men do overlook a lot of things in their marriage. They'll be like, well, she doesn't get me hard, but she's a good wife and I'll stick around. I'll stick through it. Now, when the woman starts to now vocalize her issues, because the man is somewhat silent in this, reluctant to communicate, she thinks she's perfect. I'm perfect. You never complain about me. Well, sometimes if he wants to complain, he's not going to get sex. So he just eats it. So she's like, I'm perfect and you need all the work. Meanwhile, he's overlooked mad red flags. And thus, then she starts to ridicule him and say what he's not doing. And she'll get the leg up on the complaining. She'll have 10 complaints, 10 things I want to tell you that you can improve on. Bitch, you can improve on everything, including dropping that neck.
It's barbecue in there. All right,
you ain't sucked me off and sucked the golf ball through a water hose and I don't know how long, bitch. Learn how to suck a dick. All right, come on. All right, but if you say that, how dare you? Marriage is more than about sex. So that's what we're dealing with right here. I'm sorry for the misspelling here. I thought it was Tamara, but it is Tamera. But that is what's happening here. All right, look, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Let's get to the super chats, and then we'll wrap up the stream. It was a great show, but it wasn't as good as it needed to be. All right, but yeah, man, let's do these super chats, and we'll get on to the evening show later on this evening, afternoon. Appreciate y'all for the support and sticking through it. We almost got 2,000 people back in here, but y'all ain't hit the like button. Y'all ain't hit the like button. This is a disgrace. It's dastardly. It's deception. All right, shout out to our brother here. It is, who is it? I don't know who it is. Let me see if I can refresh the screen. Refreshing this. Okay, they want me to log in. All right, I'm logging in. All right, you're messing up my show, my flow. All right, let's see here. Daniel Mack was the last one that I see. Shout out to our brother H Everyday Coach. What do you think about Dame Dash's thoughts about women and what his woman independent of him? What's his women's independent of him? But he supports them until they are self-sufficient of him. Do you agree with his philosophy? All right, I'm trying to figure it out. You said thoughts about women and what's his woman independent of him, but he supports them until they are self-sufficient. Like, what are we talking about? Daughters, wives, girlfriends? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. Can you fill me in on that one? And he says twins and close siblings always have arm length separation. Seems like America, we are trained to get away from our families, not stay close with family like we were on a farm in prior to 1970s. He says, just say LBJ on, I think you meant just saw LBJ on PBS last night. Thank you. MC Hamster, Tia Mowry looking at relationships like high school. What's the junior college curriculum like? How's the inflation on textbook? Hit this bitch with the dark side laughter. Somebody fill me in on that one. You just did? All right. I think you fixed it, and I'll come back to it. Shout out to H Everyday. You know why Tia and her sister is close. His sister is married to a white man. And it says Tamara or Tamera doesn't want to lose her spot in life because she is totally verified by her husband. Shout out to you right there. She don't want to lose the spot. Shout out to Mrs. Rock, says, loved your latest IG post. That's my favorite Lock song. Thank you. To the men. He says, thank you to the men who stand firm and upgrade their women's lives. Thank you, Coach, for always keeping it 100 and keeping us trad wives on our toes. The women are quiet because Coach speaks facts. Shout out to you, sister, right there. You are a Coach Gang member of the sister community right there, but I'm keeping people on their toes. Ladies, appreciate y'all here listening to the Speaker of Truth. You never crash our show. Mostly the monkey simps crash our show, all right? Men that believe, and maybe, no, we'll talk about men tonight because we got to get this show wrapped up. But we'll talk about where men stand tonight. We got our brother Alonzo. Yo, Coach. He says society made divorce seem normal, but the real divorce court system is messed up and it traumatizes everyone involved. Just look at Cry Reese. Man got locked up for missing child support. Shit is wild. New world order. I've been the one that says I'm not going to relent. I'm going to talk about this system and the evil that it does to people. And I've pushed past a lot of the shaming language because I've been able to demonstrate what I've been saying to be truthful, accurate, right, and exact. So it is a bad system to be breaking up these families. And I'm going to tell you, I learned some things. Watch this. What is the difference between rich and wealthy? What is the difference between rich and wealthy? Shout out to Caitlin says, do women ever wonder if their husbands are always happy? They don't. Of course they don't. Yet these women will still want you to marry them. You can't trust them with a lifetime commitment. I'm going to tell you, they don't care about your happiness. They always see themselves as getting the short end of the stick. But this is women in general. Like, what's a woman's favorite phrase? This is not fair. They guys, ever since they were 2 years old and they could talk, they've always said this is not fair. They always look at it because they have an inferiority complex. They always think that something's not fair. Okay. They always think something's not fair. They always think that they're not getting the benefit of the doubt. They always think they're getting the glass half full. So it's always not fair to them. And there's going to be a reason why, because inferiority complex, and rightly so, they can't get it on their own. And I'm going to show even the women that say they get it on their own are lying to themselves, because what they're saying is they're getting it on their own to support themselves. Right? That's where the unfairness. I want men to understand this as you hear it. When they say they're doing it by themselves, they only can support themselves. Now, a man is judged on his ability to support more than himself. It's always going to be kids and wives and girlfriends and sugar babies. That's how a man is judged, supporting multiple people. A woman says, I'm doing it out here. And she'll be like, I'm paying my own rent, my own car. Bitch, you support yourself. Welcome to adulthood. That's what most men are doing. In fact, most men are able to support themselves. I mean, even a guy that's at the fucking bottom of the totem pole economically, he has the ability to support himself. He's an assistant manager at Baskin and Robbins. He can support himself. But we aren't judged by that. We're judged by our ability to support others. They're then comparing that with the ability to support themselves. But let me say this, and I'll answer the question. The difference between rich and wealthy: rich is you. Wealthy is family. It's others. So you will say the man is rich, but the family is wealthy. That's one of the big distinguishing factors of rich and wealth. And there's other distinguishing factors, but most of the time, you're not talking about one person being wealthy. You're talking about the family being wealthy. Okay? But you might say the guy is rich. He is rich. She is rich. Okay? But rich only lasts so long. Wealth is the family. Wealth is normally associated with family. The Walton family is rich. Now, one of those people are not rich. Even Sam Walton's family was rich. I mean, Sam Walton was wealthy. He became wealthy. His family became wealthy. So you got rich and you got wealthy. See, today we're transferring the wealth. We're transferring the wealth of the family all through the selfishness and the selfish desires of the confused woman. And it's torpedoing people's potential to grow wealth. In fact, we showed you the woman that spent $600,000 of her divorce agreement. Just spent it in 18 months because they don't know how they don't know how to grow money and manage money. And this is very general. They only see it about themselves. They're going to make a bad decision. So generational wealth, right? Rich is you. Wealth is family. So you could become rich. I could become rich and maybe my family become wealthy, but my family's already broken and split. He says you can lose it in the bender in Vegas. Yeah, you can lose all your riches. Guys, you can make millions of dollars and lose it all. I mean, relatively fast. All right, relatively fast. Yeah, I think I got everybody, but let me check one more time as we go through. Shout out to you. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Thank you for sticking through this stream. And thank you for listening, even the ladies that are listening reluctantly. I think I have one more point to add, but I'll continue. Oh, tonight's show, we're talking about, well, that exact thing. Women are losing money in their retirement, and it's going to be a major problem in our economic ecosystem, is because a lot of these women they don't have a partner or a marriage. They're divorced, and they don't have enough to live off of in retirement. This is going to affect us politically, economically, and socially. And it's going to be a lot of pressure on men to help these women. But they chose their feminist card. They chose divorce already. They made their errors. But we're going to be expected to resolve these errors and forced to marry these women. And why you dating younger women, and don't be tricking on these girls. You don't need a 20-year-old. Marry me. I'm 40, 50, and 60. But these women are outlasting their retirement. Well, and they're going broke. J Flo, the wife pressured me into washing her car yesterday so she can stop riding dirty, only to call sick today. Shout out to you. Marriage is a bait and switch like a motherfucker. He says, Coach Gang, and there you go. All that work for nothing. All right. And Everyday Coach, you hit the hell on the head. Hit hit it on the head. He says, that's what exactly happened to me in my relationship. In my early 20s, the friends and family sabotaged me. Very common. Very common. And you're stuck looking for answers and you ain't going to find them. And I think I got everybody. Let me make sure the Cash App is good on the way out. We're going to be back tonight, man. Thank you for joining me and rejoining me on this stream. Hit the like button. And if I have some more info, I'll share it with you. We out of here. Peace.
Vibe blowing at the J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slack. Everything I do is got the Benz jumping at the bay. Vibe blowing at my J, got the loud jumping at the pay. Everything I'm on slack.
We've been with the Brazilians. This would be the first.
They wild, I think.
I'm innocent.
Bro, you hear that guy?